Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
City officials, they are concerned about many COVID outbreaks coming from packed bars and restaurants. So how did those bars and restaurants do over the weekend?
And it's official, the Dream Cruise canceled because of COVID-19, the impact on the local economy, and also those who love to cruise Woodward.
All right, Hank, we're going to begin, though, with Chief Craig launching an investigation into this. A DPD scout car pushing through a crowd of protesters as the rear window is busted out. Topping our news today at 5, the chief says that protest last night was mainly peaceful, but also says there was a group of agitators intent on causing destruction.
Now protesters are set to gather demanding action. Let's get to Victor Williams. He's live at the 4th Precinct in Southwest Detroit. And Victor, you got your hands on the dash cam video.
Yeah, absolutely. The police have released that video, and it's actually prompted protesters, as you guys can see right here behind me, all of them gathering right here at the 4th Precinct. But like you guys said before, the chief, he told us earlier today that the protest originally was peaceful, but a dozen agitators or more all changed the course of this entire thing. It's the video everyone's been sharing on social media, showing several protesters being driven into at the Your Fight is My Fight march on the southwest side of Detroit.
It appeared as the officers were kind of slow moving, hitting their brakes, hoping to dislodge these individuals from the hood. So that loud banging.
But now we have dash cam footage showing the incident from the angle of two officers trying to guide the crowd.
At some point, when the speed increases, I think the speed increased to about 25 miles an hour.
The chief says 25 to 30 of these demonstrators started to get agitated when they were redirected on the presumed route.
I think they had redirected them to go down Dix as opposed to Verner. Verner is a more heavily traveled street.
From there, things escalated even more when the chief claims these people had weapons that could have been used to cause harm.
We believed the back window shattered out, and they thought they were being fired upon.
Apparently, these officers feared for their lives, hearing their vehicles being vandalized with hammers, rocks, and anything else that the people could find.
They should be able to do what they need to survive that. And the first thing you think about doing is getting out of the line of fire. So I understand it.
And that's the reason why officers thought it would be best to retreat, removing themselves from the situation, also knocking over a few protesters in the process.
Fortunately, it doesn't appear that anyone was substantially injured.
Now, DPD, they are saying that they are going to be looking for any of those agitators that were out there. In the meantime, these officers that were involved, they are actually going to stay on duty in the meantime while this investigation is underway. Reporting live out here, Victor Williams, Local 4, back to you.
Victor, before you go, in the past during these protests, we've seen a lot of officers. Why is it that there were only 2 officers for this particular protest?
Well, the thing is, in the past, they were expecting large amounts of people. You know, this past week, it looked like those protesters were starting to die down in the last couple of weeks or so, I should say. So they weren't expecting this amount of people whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay, Victor, thanks.
Let's now turn our attention to coronavirus and today's numbers. The state reports 4 more people have lost their lives to the virus in the past 24 hours. That comes as 236 new cases have been confirmed. 236. Compare that with just 2 weeks ago when there were just 74 new cases of COVID-19. So the numbers rise, and as they rise in other parts of the country, we've seen states putting restrictions back in place.
So are we going to see that happen here in Michigan? Our Grant Herms asked Governor Whitmer that very question today. Grant, you didn't get much of a direct answer here.
No, not really. Whitmer was tight-lipped about both her plans for the state reopening and what that could mean for schools come the fall, but she did say that Michiganders have to resist that quarantine fatigue as we look toward a holiday weekend.
This afternoon, Governor Whitmer not saying whether the majority of the state will move into the next phase of reopening by the holiday weekend. Citing the recent rise in cases, she said she'll be making her announcement tomorrow.
If we want to have a shot at moving into phase 5 in these other regions, we have to keep our numbers low, and right now we are seeing some growth.
Whitmer is also expected to reveal her plan for K-12 schools tomorrow, a concern for many parents and educators. Many who said earlier this month they didn't think their districts would be ready for in-person classes come the fall.
So we will see, I think, a lot more about how we keep our kids safe as we re-engage. And it's not just our kids, but it's their families and it's our educators and their families as well.
But as cases rise here in Michigan and in some states across the country, calls for stricter punishments for bars and restaurants not following social distancing have been mounting. In East Lansing, more than 85 cases have been linked to Harper's Bar, which the governor called the worst kind of environment for the spread of the virus.
This is absolutely a lesson for us all. Every one of us has to be smart. It can't just be some generations. It can't just be some parts of the state. It can't just be some people of a certain political persuasion. Every one of us needs to do our part.
Now, she also addressed her decision to allow a rally for former Vice President Joe Biden to continue in early March, despite saying that she knew about the coronavirus and its severity in late February. Now, she said at that point in time there were no coronavirus cases positively in the state. She said, although in hindsight, there are certainly some decisions she would have made differently. Kimberly?
Well, Grant, the governor also released her plan to reform policing. Did she say much about that today?
Well, it's a four-part plan, and we asked her why she chose to include some things and not others. It's chock full of proposals. We also asked her about her decision to defund the police and her stance on that. That's coming up tonight at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Back to you.
We look forward to your report coming up. Thank you, Grant. Well, first it was the auto show, then came the Grand Prix. Now the 2020 Woodward Dream Cruise has been canceled because of COVID-19.
Event organizers announced their decision to cancel the event today. Not exactly a surprise to many, but will it keep cruisers off the road? Our consumer investigator Hank Winchester live along Woodward, and those businesses along Woodward depend on that weekend for a lot of their income every year, Hank.
Millions of dollars, Devin, spent from Ferndale up to Birmingham, and it's not just the loss of money making its way into the local economy. Cruisers love this event, making their way up and down Woodward, soaking it all in. It's one of the premier events in Metro Detroit during the summer, the Woodward Dream Cruise. It brings in visitors from around the world, visitors who spend big money boosting the local economy. A big help to suburban cities like Royal Oak that are already struggling because of COVID-19.
I'm talking to businesses on a daily basis, and certainly nobody's doing well right now.
There were reports that this year's cruise would be scaled down dramatically because of COVID-19. This note we obtained from Ferndale last month revealing that Mustang Alley and other big events associated with the cruise in that city would be canceled, but that the cruise itself would motor on. But now, after spending several weeks weighing the pros and cons and really looking at the concern regarding COVID-19, a final decision has been made to cancel the cruise. In a statement I received, I'm told, while we are deeply saddened by the tough decision to cancel the 26th annual Woodward Dream Cruise, we know it is in the greater public's interest to keep everyone safe and healthy. We look forward to resuming the Dream Cruise in 2021 and making it a memorable and safe experience for all. Back out here live, so a lot of thought and effort went into deciding to cancel the cruise once and for all. Bottom line is, even though the big sponsors, the bands, the tents, all of that will be gone, no doubt about it, you're likely going to still see a lot of cruisers here on the weekend. I just saw people out on Friday and Saturday night sitting in parking lots showing off their classic cars. Unclear how local police will handle that in their own communities. We're live here tonight in Royal Oak. Hank Winchester, Local 4.
Okay, Hank, now to the continuing spike that we mentioned in COVID-19 infections across the country. At least 33 states now seeing an increase in the number of positive cases.
Several states taking a step back on reopening plans. As Jay Gray shows us, officials are looking down areas that could contribute to the spread.
Crowds are gathering at two distinct and disturbing places right now: coronavirus testing centers and public venues. The two seemingly connected, with the number of infections continuing to climb. Nationwide, the 7-day average on new cases rising more than 41% in the past week.
I think it's a very serious issue. We're dealing with a war. It's just an invisible enemy, and we have to take it much more seriously.
In a lot of areas, that means taking a step back, closing bars again, reducing the number of customers allowed in restaurants and other businesses, and requiring masks in public. as so many communities struggle to try and control the spread.
The window here is very narrow. This is something we've known about the virus, that if you fall behind, as we have, then you've got to act quickly and aggressively.
Broward County, Florida, today joining a growing list of areas closing beaches ahead of the 4th of July holiday.
If we stay open, we'll have a crowd here, and that would lead to further spread of the COVID-19.
Though many doctors stress the key to beating the virus starts with personal responsibility.
Americans need to wear masks, social distance, wash your hands, stay away from large gatherings. Americans are in charge of their destiny. It's in their hands. Take charge, change the shape of this disaster.
A disaster that right now is still growing. Jay Gray, Local 4.
And there are more than 41,000 new cases of coronavirus across the United States just in the last 24 hours. Michigan State basketball picks up an exciting commitment from one of the country's top talents.
Big one. Got to wait for him for a little while, though, still. Ypsilanti's Imani Bates went on ESPN this afternoon to say he is committing to MSU. Now, consider this. He is going to be a high school junior this fall. But as a freshman, he led Ypsilanti Lincoln to a state title last year, became the youngest player to win Gatorade's Player of the Year award. He's been compared to, among others, NBA stars Kevin Durant and, yes, even LeBron James. So quite a pickup for Tom Izzo. Coming up later in our newscast, Bernie will have more on Bates' decision to attend Michigan State.
Okay, we are off and running here on a Monday. Let's get over to Ben.
Hi guys, toasty finish to tonight, but how much more of this heat do we have yet to go? You may be shocked. We'll look at that next.
All right, Ben, also a deadly shooting on I-75. What we're learning as police shut the freeway down for several hours this morning. Sean.
The concern of many COVID outbreaks in the city coming from bars and restaurants not following the rules, very real in the city. Police and the health department visited far more than they thought they had to. How did those businesses do? We'll have the update.